We have some breaking news out of Mercedes-Benz, and this is thanks to the Trump tariffs, which are set to take effect. So, Mercedes-Benz considers pulling entry-level cars from the US over Trump tariffs. So, the Mercedes-Benz Group is considering pulling its cheapest cars from the US ahead of President Donald Trump's auto tariffs, according to sources in Bloomberg. Now, according to Newsweek as well, Newsweek has reached out to Mercedes Benz for comment via email, and we haven't heard anything yet. So the context is that the Trump administration is set to impose 25% tariffs on auto imports on April 2nd, which is tomorrow, alongside a series of reciprocal tariffs on countries around the world. This will take effect on April 3rd. Now, the newly announced tariffs are designed to boost American auto manufacturing and jobs by financially penalizing imports. Now, as many of you know, we do have, I post a ton of cars on this channel, Mercedes Benz. Now, this is definitely a bit of a shocker, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not. What I do expect is there has to be some concessions, and other countries may or may not follow suit. Think of Volkswagen, think of Porsche. Now, for those of you who don't know, Porsche creates 100% of the cars in Germany, which means that nearly all 100% of them are imported. So you can expect anywhere from, at least in most of these cars, from $3,000 on the entry level Mercedes Benzes to the high end coupes or the Maybachs or the S classes. We're talking about 15, even $20,000. Now, so here's what you need to know. Around 15% of all Mercedes Benz's global vehicle sales were in the United States last year. So about a fifth of all the cars sold by Mercedes Benz were sold in the US. Now, when the tariffs go into effect later this week, the German automaker said it believes they will hit its margin by 2.5% percentage points on a gross basis without mitigation measures. Mitigation measures could include cutting the sales of its entry level models in the US. So only the higher end and luxury cars are available, which means the S classes, the GLEs, the coupes, or the G Wagons. It could also raise the prices of vehicles as part of a broader tariffs contingency plan. So, what does that mean? Let's see if we have some comments. So, it looks like we don't have any comments, but it could also raise the prices of cars as part of the broader tariffs contingency plan, which means cars will be more expensive beginning in the next 2 days. On Monday, during an investors' call, executives at the German automaker said the company was also building up inventory at wholesale and dealer lots to get ahead of the tariffs, Reuters reports. Now, what are people saying? A Mercedes Benz Group spokesperson told WVTM 13 News regarding Trump tariffs, and I quote, as a global company, we rely on constructive cooperation and policies that promote mutually beneficial trade across international markets. President Donald Trump told NBC News on Sunday, and I quote, I couldn't care less if they raise prices on foreign made cars, right? Because people are going to start buying American cars. I actually find that hard to believe because a free market means innovation and competition. By imposing 25% tariffs, you're essentially locking out competition from other automakers. Now, the biggest beneficiary of these tariffs, if you ask me, in my opinion, is probably companies such as Tesla, because most of the cars, at least a large percentage, are made in the US. Now, according to the president of the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, and she wrote on X, formerly Twitter, on March 26th, and I quote, I deeply regret the US decision to impose tariffs on EU automotive exports. Tariffs are taxes, bad for businesses, worse for consumers in the US and the EU. The EU will continue to seek negotiated solutions while safeguarding its economic interests. Now, that's the president of the EU hitting back at Trump, saying that, essentially, A tariff is a tax. So there's always this notion that, yes, you're going to force companies to move manufacturing to the US, but essentially what's going to happen is a tariff is basically, if you're an automaker, you're exporting your cars to the US. When they come in, they're hit by a 25% tariff. It's essentially an excise duty or import duty, which means that the cars will be even more expensive. Now, Sean Fain, the president of United Auto Workers, said in a statement, and I quote, "We applaud the president, we applaud the Trump administration for stepping up to end the free trade disaster that has devastated working class communities for decades. Ending the race to the bottom in the auto industry starts with fixing our broken trade deals, and the Trump administration has made history with today's actions." Now, what happened next? What happens next? The 25% tariff on foreign-made cars begins on Thursday, with duties on auto parts to follow by May 3rd. So here's what you can do. If you're looking to buy, yes, we're definitely cooked. If you're looking to buy a new car, it's kind of tough to decide to buy a car within the next 2 days before the tariff hits. Um, I'm not sure if this is going to last for too long. We're yet to see, but I can tell you one thing for sure: the stock markets are not reacting positively to this news. I do know that the Dow Jones, as of this moment, which is around midday, the Dow Jones is down by 127 points. The S&P 500 is down as well. Apple stocks are down. Nvidia is slightly up. Adobe is down. Tesla is actually gaining some ground. It's slightly up today. But overall, the on and off tariff talk is actually not even helping the market. But I think I want to hear what you guys think. What are your thoughts about the impending tariffs on the auto market? It's definitely going to it's going to have an impact on the channel because we showcase a ton of cars, entry-level Mercedes-Benzes, the A classes, the C classes, talk about A220, the CLA 250s. Those cars have very small profit margins. We're talking 2.5%. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen when the Trump tariffs take effect. But from what we've seen, according to Mercedes-Benz, according to this report by Reuters, by Newsweek, by Bloomberg News, is that the Mercedes-Benz group is considering pulling its cheapest cars from the US. So that means that if you're looking to buy a Mercedes-Benz, if the tariffs hold for the next year or for the next couple of months, it means that entry-level Mercedes-Benzes will begin at about $65,000, maybe $70,000. So which is going to be sort of a Porsche style market where you have to buy high-end cars or settle for the alternative, which is get yourself a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz or a pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. I think on the one hand, the price of these cars is it might hold, but on the other side, if you're trying to buy, it's going to be a tough sell for you. But if you're trying to sell, it might be good for you. So a quick take on breaking news according to Newsweek, according to Bloomberg, according to multiple sources, is that Mercedes-Benz is considering pulling its entry-level cars from the US market over the Trump tariffs. And so this is a high-stakes game. So let's see if Trump's tariff gambit will raise the stakes for an economy already looking very fragile. I think the markets are not reacting very positively to this news. So leave your thoughts and let me know what you think about the breaking news. And we'll be here tomorrow reporting on Trump tariffs, and we'll be taking a look at the markets to see how they react. All right. Till next time, guys. Stay positive. Peace.